Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental, and emotional health paradigm. Try to do that as often as we can. We try to do that several times in a given week, sometimes every few days, and we've got over 950 of these available for your listening pleasure on a variety of topics. We continue to try to bring you the best in these areas, and we would love if you would subscribe, like, comment below, all that good stuff. Anyway, if you are looking for life, relationship, business, or any other type of coaching as you move forward through your life experience, would love to be of assistance to you there as well. A couple ways to do that. You can reach out through Twitter at PO Perception on Twitter, or you can reach out in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either one will lead you to conversation with me and the ability to kind of get things out in the open, see if we can do some work together, get you to a place that's a little happier, a little healthier, a little better for you overall. And that's the goal anyway. This is signs that you may have had a difficult past or a past that you're not through yet. And obviously, lots of stuff that I do is the unconscious or habitual mind related stuff as it relates to what people believe about themselves, and they shoot themselves in the foot in a lot of ways without necessarily needing to or wanting to do it. They just don't really realize how detrimental they are to their own progress. So, gonna kind of go through any of these. If you have one or more of these, you maybe uh, want to work with somebody in order to get to a place where you can master your life in a way that's more meaningful for you. First is if you deal with self-hate. Self-hate, of course, is the belief that we should have lived life differently, and thus hatred of self becomes a key focal point in the psychology at which we have issue. The, of course, antithesis, the opposite of that is self worth. So a person that has high levels of self hate has low levels of self worth. These two things go hand in hand with each other. If a person has a narrative that they have been fed, force fed, or indoctrinated with from a very early age that they don't have value, they are going to find or try to find ways to continue believing in that way of being, not necessarily because it's true, but because the belief that it is true is what keeps them going alive and kind of, able to continue focusing on whatever their narrative is. Breaking that internal narrative is essential to getting to a happier, healthier, and overall better way of mental and emotional health, but sometimes doing that easier said than done. And so that becomes a challenge for someone to work through for a number of reasons. Next thing is the ability to trust. So, trust can go both ways. One is one's own internal judgment. The ability to trust one's own internal judgment is extremely difficult for a number of reasons. Um, and not limited to the fact that really, when we don't necessarily understand how to trust ourselves or how to trust our own judgment, how to trust what we've done, or if we have, going in the direction of getting to a healthy space, um, it can be reasonably difficult. Um, you know, there's a lot of um, tire kicking internally that goes on when we don't see ourselves in the right way, and our ability to trust our own judgment, but also trust in the intentions of others. If we believe that every person has a motive of some form, but that we can be mutually beneficial to each other for a standard of time, it's easier to begin to understand how to connect on a deeper level in that way. People that have difficulty with formulation or the desire to formulate new relationships are also signs of individuals who might have been, at least in some way, betrayed or negatively affected by previous relationships. This can lead, and often does, to isolation, both social and emotional. Emotional isolation, the idea is that a person doesn't necessarily disclose, talk about, or deal with whatever challenges, problems, or negativities they may have on a regular basis. The next thing there is, in general, continuation of the proliferation of life problems, never resolving one problem after another, or continuation of a lot of difficulties with life issues that other people don't deal with. That doesn't mean that a person has to have had a traumatic life upbringing in order to have problems, but if a person continually has the same problems and or does not contain the ability to maintain their own emotional mastery, there can be problems in that as well, for a number of reasons, none of which are particularly comfortable or comforting depending on self perception. So, that is where we'll close. We'll be back with more right after this.